ご出席の皆様、はじめまして、国連ボランティア計画事務局次長の横須賀恭子と申します。京都国際平和構築センターにご主催いただき、外務省と並び UNB が講演しております今回のイベントへ出席する機会を賜り、心よりお礼申し上げます。今回、UNB 事務局長でありますクルバノフもぜひとも出席させていただきたかったところ、叶いませんため、事務局次長であります私が局長のメッセージを代読させていただきます。So, I'll be reading the statement by Executive Coordinator ①トイリー。Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear volunteers, it is my honor to welcome you today as we pay tribute to the late Mr. Atsuhito Nakata. 30 years after his passing in 1993, we are here to remember the dedication and commitment of a young man who chose to serve as UN volunteer to help build a peaceful and democratic society in Cambodia. Atsuhito was one of 465 UN volunteers to support the United Nations Transitional Authority in Cambodia, UNTAC, as district electoral supervisor. In the province of Kampong Thom, Atsuhito helped to organize electoral processes at the community level and to inform the Cambodian population about elections and democratic principles. He was only 25 years old when he and his Khmer interpreter, Lex Sophies, were killed in a tragic ambush that left their families, friends, and colleagues devastated. Today and always, we continue to remember Atsu, as he was called by his friends, as a dynamic, active, and passionate young man. A man who did not just want to feel sorry about other people's troubles from a safe distance, but who chose to go out there and volunteer, to show his solidarity and support through his actions. On the executive floor of the United Nations Volunteers Program headquarters in Bonn, Germany, we have a large painting of Atsu in action. This painting serves as a reminder to us all working in organization of the dedication and volunteering spirit of Atsu. And we are determined to work on ensuring a safe environment for our volunteers to prosper at their workplace. And that is also take a moment to acknowledge the valuable contribution of his father, the late Mr. Takehito Nakata. After his son's death, he committed to his life to carrying on Atsuhito's desire to contribute to peace and development. As our honorary ambassador, he helped to promote unity and, more importantly, volunteerism around the world. Mr. Takehito Nakata spoke passionately and frequently about the contributions and the future potential of volunteering. Through his visits to many countries, he inspired many partners, local communities, non-governmental organizations, the government officials, the media, and most importantly, volunteers serving within the United Nations system and beyond. Atsuhito's legacy made his father one of the driving forces behind the International Year of Volunteers in 2001, proposed by the government of Japan and proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly. The International Year of Volunteers represented a global recognition of the power of volunteers and volunteerism. In 1993, Atsuhito Nakata was one of 3,600 UN volunteers supporting the United Nations system globally. In 30 years now, this number nearly tripled, with over 12,400 UN volunteers serving in 2022, working with 55 UN partners in 165 countries. Since the first Japanese UN volunteer was deployed in 1971, and I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Ito, who is sitting there, who was one of the first UN volunteers from Japan. In recent years, around 100 Japanese, so since the first Japanese volunteer was deployed in 1971, over 1,000 men and women from Japan have served as UN volunteers. In recent years, around 100 Japanese UN volunteers serve every year. Many of them work as program protection and peacebuilding officers, many in Asia Pacific and East and Southern Africa, but also across the globe. UNB's engagement in peacekeeping operations started with the deployment of Atsuhito Nakata and his peers in the early 1990s. Last year, 3,730 UN volunteers supported the United Nations Secretariat entities and missions as civilian personnel. Of these, the largest number, 1,706, served directly in peacekeeping operations, where they have become the backbone of the work of human rights, community liaison, health, public information, as well as various mission support functions. Mr. Sukehiro Hasegawa, UNB's former Deputy Executive Coordinator, is here with us today. And taking this opportunity, I'd like to recognize with great appreciation the role of Mr. Hasegawa played in transforming UNB into a strong partner for UN peacekeeping interventions. Today, major global disruptions and crises call on UNB to maintain its focus on emergency actions centered around the rapid deployment of UN volunteers to support the response efforts of the United Nations partners entities. Mr. Hasegawa, thank you for your dedication in helping UNB during the critical juncture and the turning point in its history. The organization has learned from the painful experience of Atsu's passing. UNB and United Nations entities are committed to ensuring the safety and security of serving UN volunteers. We continue to work on safeguarding UN volunteers' well-being, safety, and interests. Our progress today is a continuation of what Mr. Hasegawa started many years ago. Volunteers' learning remains a very important part of these efforts. UNB invests in knowledge generation, sharing and learning to promote and enhance the quality and impact of the volunteering experiences. On behalf of more than 12,000 UN volunteers and UNB staff in our headquarters in Germany and across the world, I'd like to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Nakata family, and we encourage all of us to cherish the memory of Atsuhito and Takehito Nakata. For UNB and volunteers worldwide, they will always be a source of inspiration. In the current context in which the world needs a stronger UN to address the wide range of serious challenges, we believe that the spirit of volunteerism, where compassion meets solidarity, is more relevant than ever before. The UN Secretary General recently said that the world faces a stark choice between a breakdown or breakthrough. At UNB, we believe that solidarity can help us achieve the breakthrough. UNB will continue to promote peace and development through volunteerism to help create an enabling environment for people willing to volunteer. Let me close by expressing our sincere appreciation to the Kyoto Peacebuilding Center, led by Professor Sukehiro Hasegawa, and the government of Japan, whose continuous support allows UNB to carry out its mission. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation today and for your continued support to UNB and to the volunteers. Thank you very much.